Hey everyone, it's Adrienne Furry here with your weekly live Facebook broadcast. So every week I am showing up live here on my page and bringing a host of different topics related to looking your best, be it with makeup, clothes, how to pull the whole thing together. And so today we are going to talk about color, and specifically the shade red. It's coming up on the holiday season, and this is a really great time of year to play with the color red. It's a really classic time of year to put on your red lipstick or a great red dress or a great red top. And so I thought, what better time than to dive into red? So the color red has a lot of, I'm gonna almost use the word mystique around it. I think if you've ever picked up a fashion magazine, you've probably had a good dose of fear, perhaps put in your heart, around the critical importance of finding just the perfect shade of red. So first of all, let's take some of the kind of drama away from it and give yourself some peace of mind that if you pick a red that's not perfect for you, it's not like life as we know it ends. There's going to be way worse things than having perhaps the wrong shade of red on. So, and I can see we've got Heather joining us live. Hi, Heather. Great to have you here. Those of you that are out there live, feel free to throw in any comments. This is meant to be interactive. That's why it's a live broadcast. So let me know of any questions you have specifically pertaining to the color red. That is our theme today. And you can see I'm wearing a red lipstick. Hi, Heather, in honor of all things red today. So yeah, so back to kind of, I almost think a little bit of the unnecessary, I don't want to say fear mongering around red, but it almost can feel like that sometimes. I've met many women who come to me and are sort of like kind of unreasonably or out of proportionately anxious around what shade of red is the perfect shade for them. So first of all, yes, we want to, as much as possible, get it right when it comes to red and really any colors that we're going to be wearing. But there's sort of two trains of thought when it comes to red, specifically red lipstick. So let's talk about lips right now. So one train of thought says that it's super important to get the shade bang on perfect. And as you can probably sense, I don't totally buy into that. The other train of thought says, yeah, you want to get it mostly right. And I'll talk more about what that means in a minute here. But you also want to have an emotional connection with the shade. And so what the heck do I mean by that? So when we talk about color, there's, again, kind of like I'm alluding to already, there's multiple ways of looking at color. One of which is the objective experience of color. How does that color make you look? What does it do to your complexion? Is it enhancing your complexion, or, heaven forbid, is it detracting from your complexion? The second aspect of color that I'm really interested in, and I think they're equally important, is how do you feel in that color? Because while it's important that colors suit you and they look good on you, it's also really important that you like that color. So even if, for example, you meet with someone like myself or someone else who has a good eye for color, and they say to you, wow, that is a great color on you. I love that on you. It's very flattering. If you're like, blick, I hate that color, I would never wear that color, that's your emotional response to that color, then no matter how flattering that color is on you, you're never gonna feel like your $1 million self in that color. So you always wanna keep both trains of thought running when you're considering color. All right, so let's jump back to the more objective experience of color, which is the how does that color make you look? So let's talk, we'll just do a little bit of color theory 101. We won't dive too deep into this because this is a huge topic, but every color has its warm versions, warm, and its cool version. So specifically when we're talking about the shade red, because that is our theme color for today as we celebrate the holidays and we look at all things fabulous and festive. Of course, red is a big part of that. What does that mean? So when we talk warm reds, that means a red that has more of an orange, which really means more of a yellow undertone to it. And when we talk cool reds, that means they have more of a blue undertone to them. And so sometimes this can be really obvious. You know, if you've got a good eye for color, you're someone who's trained in color, you're an artist, you're a photographer, like our friend Heather that's here, someone that's, you know, really experienced with makeup, clothing. Oftentimes, anyone that's trained in color will be more easily able to pick out the differences, but it's not always super obvious if a color is warm or cool. So I've got two shades of lipstick here, which I'll hold up. Sometimes they don't render that well online, but just to give you a comparison side-by-side example. So this lipstick here, this is a very warm lipstick. It's this is one of my favorites. It's a shade called Glamour Puss, which is what I'm wearing today. It's a fabulous red. This is a really orangey red. It's very warm. This shade here, this is, and I don't know how well the light is showing that for you, but this is a very cool red. This is a very bluey based red. And this is another great lipstick. I love this one too. This one's called Code Red. So if you hold them side by side, you can probably see the difference. The one here, this is the warm one. It's much orangier. This one's cool. This is a more bluey red. Okay, so, and I intentionally, with my makeup collection, I only have two shades of red in my collection. I've got a warm red and a cool red because frankly, I think the world of reds has gone kind of bananas, and it can be really overwhelming when you go to pick out a red and there's like a bazillion different shades, which while it's fun, it's kind of unnecessary. Most of us frankly are either going to really gravitate to one, or maybe ideally you might even find that you like to have one of each in your makeup bag depending upon your mood. So, okay, so let's talk about, so we've identified warm versus cool. So now how do you know which one is good for you, right? So fundamentally, if you have warmer undertones to your skin, you are naturally going to look better in a shade of red that is warmer. It's just going to complement your coloring better. And if you have cooler undertones to your skin, you're likely going to look better in a shade that is cooler. So again, this is another big topic, how to find out what your undertone is. We all fall on some spectrum. We all have various undertones to our skin. Some of us have a lot more yellow to our skin, and some of us have a lot more of that pinky blue undertone to our skin. And some of us fall somewhere smack dab in the middle or somewhere along that spectrum. So of course, like all things in the world of art and fashion and beauty, there's absolutely no like hard and fast, black and white, super clear cut answer around this for a lot of us. Some of us, if we're more on those extreme edges of really warm skin or really cool skin, it's quite obvious. For the rest of us, where you fall more somewhere in the middle, it can be a little bit more nuanced. To help you figure this out, if you go to my website, currently it's on the home page. There's a link right at the top of my page that says, are you warm or are you cool? And it's also on my shop makeup page. If you click on that, there's a 2-minute diagnostic tool that you can go through that'll help you pinpoint if you are warmer or cooler or more neutral in your skin tone. So if you're not super clear on where you fall within the sort of undertone family, I encourage you to go check that out. It's super quick and it'll give you a really good starting point to then go, okay, interesting. I've got warmer undertones to my skin. For example, let's say it shows that you've got warmer undertones. I would probably look, hi Kirsty, Hello. I would probably look better in a, hi, I would probably look better, in a color that is warmer. Versus again, someone that's got cooler undertones is probably going to look better in a shade that's got that more bluey undertone to it. Okay, so I've crammed a lot of color theory into a really simplified conversation, but that really is the essence of it. And so, what's the other whole side of this, though, is the more kind of subjective experience of color. So, if you've ever been with me and you've heard me talk about color, specifically the shades of red, I like to approach reds. Well, yes, I'll take into consideration your undertone, but I also really strongly take into consideration what I think of as more kind of like the energy behind the colors. So with the more orangey reds, so this shade, for example, this Glamour Push shade, which is the one that I've got on right now, I think of orangey reds as being they're more sort of fashion forward. They're a little bit more almost kind of playful, and I want to say trendy, in the sense that they just have a little bit more of like a current feeling to them. Versus the bluey reds are more, the word vampy comes to mind. So if you picture, like that very dramatic vampy style where it's almost like, I want to say gothic. I don't mean like, like the gothic style from the 90s where it's like really edgy and dark, but in a way it's almost like that. Like these bluey reds have that more kind of like serious, again, vampy feel to them. And the orangey reds, I feel, are a little bit more, again, edgy and fun. So depending upon your mood and what look and feel you're going for with your makeup, you might find yourself wanting to gravitate to one of those different shades of red. You certainly don't have to. This is getting into more advanced makeup. A lot of women are going to say, no, just give me one shade that I like. I don't want to complicate life. And then it's just a matter of really going for the one that lights you up, the one that you feel really good in, and the one that looks good on you. And so when we talk about what looks good on you, what does that really mean? What are you looking for? And this applies really to all color, but specifically when we're talking reds and anything, again, that you're going to be wearing, especially near your face. So a red lipstick, or, again, like a red blouse, red scarf, red jacket, anything like that that's going to be near your face. What you're really looking for is, what does this shade do for my complexion? And things that you're going to be looking for, first of all, is teeth. This is a big one. Some reds, when you put them on, can make teeth look a lot more yellow. And this can be part of, I guess, the danger or the risk of some of the warmer shades of red. They have a lot more yellow in them, which for some of us, if we already have quite a bit of yellow in our teeth, like we don't necessarily have, like maybe we just don't have the brightest smile, or we just naturally have quite ivory teeth. For some of us, going with a really orangey red, it just pulls too much yellow in the teeth, which isn't flattering. So, because part of what's so beautiful about red lips is that they make our teeth look gleaming. And so that's where, for some of us, the bluey reds can be more flattering. It's just the contrast against the sometimes more natural yellow in the teeth. Having that blue in the lipstick can make the teeth just glow the most beautiful, vibrant shade of white, which is super flattering. So that's always one of the first things I look at, is what is this doing for your teeth? And then you want to just look at your overall skin tone and just take in the whole skin tone. Ideally, you're in an environment where you have the opportunity to try on both shades and really look and see what they do for you. It's really hard to just swatch, a lipstick on your hand, or to look at a tube and go, I wonder which shade is going to work for me. Ideally, you're going to get it up, ideally on your face, or, if it's an article of clothing, go and stand with it in front of the mirror, either put it on or hold it up to your face and really look at what it's doing to your complexion. When you've got the right color, like we talked about, the teeth are going to glow. Likewise, the whites of your eyes should look brighter. Again, you want to see the whites that look sparkling and like just healthy, like your eyeballs look healthy. And the complexion overall looks vibrant and radiant. If you've got a color that's really not good for you, what you're going to see is that all of a sudden you look sort of sickly. You might use words like sallow or pale, and not like a good dramatic pale, but like a sickly pale where you just look sort of like death warmed over, where you're like, ugh. And this can be really subtle. Again, if you're not trained to look for it, you might be going like, what the heck is Adrienne talking about? I have no idea what she's talking about. This is something that you really have to train your eye to see. So again, anyone that works with a lot of color, Kirsty here is a photographer, and we've got Heather who work with photography, myself, anyone that's trained to work with color and stares at faces all the time is going to be a good person to be able to comment. Or people that know you well might be able to look at you and say, yeah, you look good right now. Ideally, hopefully you get to a stage where you can look at yourself and go, yeah, this color is really good on me. Yeah, no, this color is really not doing me any favors at all. So going full circle back to my original comments around finding the perfect shade of red for you. Yes, do some homework with it, but don't agonize over it. I think it is, at the end of the day, far more important to get some red lipstick on and just have some fun. Wearing red lipstick is just, it's just one of those, it's just so chic and sophisticated and fun and playful and powerful. And I think if you allow yourself to really fixate, that's the word I was looking for earlier. I couldn't quite remember it. But if we allow ourselves to overly fixate on what's like the perfect shade, for me, it can almost become crippling where you stop yourself from experiencing the pleasure of wearing reds. Play around, get a good orangey red, get a good bluey red, or meet with someone or go to a good makeup counter where you have the opportunity to try them on and just play around. And I hope that you have some opportunities this holiday season to get out that red lipstick. It's a great way to dress up an outfit. Snap a photo of you in red, post it, tag me on it. I'd love to see you rocking out a great red lipstick or, a great red dress or any of those really fun, powerful red pieces that you've got that make you feel great. And just have some fun with it. So that's really everything I've got to say on the shade of red. A reminder again, if you want to go hit up my website, it's at adriennefurry.com, right on the homepage for the time being. I think we're moving it, but right now it's living on my homepage. There's a quick little tutorial there that'll guide you through figuring out what your undertone is. So take that. And then if you're interested in learning more about how to actually get your lipstick on and get it looking good and how to do a really beautiful, glamorous face of makeup, particularly a smoky eye, which I'm not wearing right now, but I wear a smoky eye tons. I'm running a live in-person makeup class. So I've got one spot left for tomorrow, one. And these are small groups. I'm only bringing in 6 ladies at a time. And then, so that's happening on Thursday, the 29th. And then I've got one more running next week on Wednesday, December 5th, and that one still has a few spots left. So details are available on my Facebook profile here, or send me a direct message and I will get details to you. It's all live, in person, everything's provided for you, so you just need to show up. There might be like a little bit of bubbly out on the table. So basically it's just a big old party and we have fun and we talk. It's like girl talk extraordinaire. It's just a group of great women playing and having fun. So anyway, thank you so much everyone for tuning in, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of the day and that you wear some red lipstick. Okay, bye everyone. Take care.